here at Shallow Graves Magazine. We're interviewing Mr. Larry Viezel. He's here assisting Barry Bostwick for a Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he's kind of an all-around Rocky Horror Picture Show master, I guess you could say.
Fanatic.
That's even better. Yeah, fanatic. Because as you were telling me a little bit of, you kind of go around and help out here, help out there for like a lot of the celebrities and things like that. What, how did you end up really getting into this?
It's a good question. So it started in 1992. My friend Dave wanted to go see the show. He didn't want to go see it with anybody who had seen it before. So he called all of his friends, and I was the first person that kind of fit the bill that was free that night. So I went to see it at a theater in Paramus, New Jersey, Cinema 35. I went, I saw it, I didn't think I was going to come back again. And then the very next week I said, what do you do? Why don't we go back to see that Rocky Horror thing again? And then 25 years later, here I am. I would not have expected this to turn out the way it did. It's been fantastic. I sort of went from a guy who goes to the show to a guy that kind of was in cast, and then I started going to conventions, and then I started organizing like conventions, and then I started getting to know the people who were involved in making the movie, and then the turning point I think was really when it stopped being me meeting them and them calling me and saying, hey, we want you to do this. And I was like,
you got to that level.
Got to that point. Yeah.
So now that was the first time that you ever saw Rocky Horror Picture Show, or did you?
First time.
Wow.
Yeah, in '92. I'd never seen it before. I remember seeing I might have seen bits and pieces of it on MTV or something like that, but and I think I knew the time warp from going to weddings where everybody always plays the time warp.
It's kind of one of those Halloween songs,
right?
Too. It's like it's on any Halloween playlist type of thing.
Right, but actually, no. The first time I saw it was in a movie theater. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know about people yelling stuff. I didn't know. I remember in the parking lot someone mentioned something about people throwing toilet paper, and I was like, oh, I drove my mother's car and she has toilet paper. Didn't realize that was the toilet paper that we were going to be using. Like it didn't occur to me, but hey, I brought all the toilet paper into the theater. Everybody loved it, and it was fun. It was my favorite part was the audience participation of people yelling stuff at the screen and then the screen answering back. I thought it was hysterical, just the timing.
And so you were also talking about doing production. Were you part of the production, or were you kind of like a behind the scenes type thing?
Yeah, well now I'm mostly behind the scenes. I still once in a blue moon I'll play Dr. Scott, but I was a long time I played both the criminologist and I played Eddie.
Okay.
At various conventions. What's that?
I was just saying that's really cool.
Yeah. It's like, I've played every role in the show except for Channing. So at one point or another.
At some point, down the line.
One of these days, maybe the last show I ever do, I'll be like, hey, look at me. But it's been a great trip.
So now, and like for the last question before, because we're a little bit of the memorabilia, that would be great.
Sure.
Now, it pertains to the memorabilia. Did you end up collecting it kind of over time, or how did you end up obtaining it?
So how did I start with it? It started also not too long after I started getting into Rocky Horror. I was at college. I didn't have a show on my campus, but they had a guy who would show up and sell photos and posters and stuff like that. And he had a couple of photos from Rocky Horror, and a few of them that he had were from the criminologist's book, like the Denton affair that he reads in the movie. And I think it might have been Barry Bostwick's headshot or something like that. I said, oh, this is pretty cool. And I said, I'm going to see if I can track down everything in this book. And then I went to a comic book shop and I found like Weird Fantasy 13. I was like, oh, this is something that's in the book, and now I have that. And then it kind of, from there, I said, you know what? I'm going to see how many pictures I can get from Rocky Horror. So it all started with like trying to get all the photos from the movie. And then it kind of grew into, I'm just going to collect everything related to the movie. And then a couple of big auctions happened that I won. One of the things I won was Michael White's. He's the producer of the movie. He auctioned off all of his notes and letters and correspondence related to Rocky Horror. Another guy named Ron Barlow, he had written a book in the 70s about Rocky Horror, and he had all of this stuff in storage for like 30 years. And I found him on Craigslist of all places, and he was trying to sell this Rocky Horror stuff. So I bought his collection. He had some great stuff in there. I got in touch for one of the conventions I was running. I was in touch with the costume designer's assistant from the movie, and she had stuff left over from the movie too, so she sold that to me. And, little by little, I just pieced together this amazing collection that I have. So
That's actually pretty cool.
yeah.
It's like started out so simple, and then turned into like its own little
It also helped that like when I got started collecting was right when eBay started to be a thing. So it was before people knew what eBay was, but whoever knew about it.
There was actually great stuff that was like pretty moderately nicely priced.
Right, exactly. So I got lucky.
That is amazing. Are we able to take a look at some of the
So I've got some. This is the cool stuff for display. These are screen-worn costumes. This is Rocky's floor show boa.
Okay.
Peter Hinwood wore this in the movie, and then this is Little Nell's corset that she wore during the Time Warp.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep.
That I have Transylvanian's rings and cufflinks. That's allegedly Meatloaf's ring. I haven't never got actually. I got it from a rock and roll dealer in Las Vegas who didn't give me a certificate of authenticity.
Okay.
And then I was questionable, and then I asked Meatloaf about it, and he looked at it and he says, "Well, it looks exactly like that ring. If it might be mine." So
You got
I've gotten to
Meatloaf
confirmation.
certificate of authenticity.
And then here I have some cool stuff. I have this stuff here is the artist's like contracts for the movie. Like this is
such an interesting find too.
Yeah, this was in Michael White stuff. I think this is Barry Bostwick's contract. Pretty sure that one's his. And then that one. This is like the contact list for people on the at the movie like the day of. Tim Curry's contract is in here. We've got Susan Sarandon's contract. So let's see whose that one is. But yeah, that's
interesting. That's such a weird find. That's something I'd like never think of.
Yeah, I was again. I didn't think I was going through this box of stuff that came from London, and I was like, "Are these their contracts?" Like, it was just this amazing, like all of these things that were in there. That was their contracts. This is that guy Ron Barlow that I was talking about. He got a letter from Sue Blaine at the time, who was the costume designer of the movie, and she said, "These are the costumes I have left over. See if anybody wants them." This was like the late 70s, like 77, 78, somewhere around there. And these are the prices she was listing for. Like Frank's dinner corset was $500. Like this boa was like $10. Like God. If you think about it, like could you imagine just being like at a convention, you're like $10? Like you can't even get a replica for like $100. Like.
I mean that's what I said yesterday when I was looking at beer. It was basically I was like I wanted to dress up as him, and I'm like I couldn't find anything at all that even was remotely close. And so I was like,
I mean, it amazes me that people go out like to get the level of detail on the costumes. There's one level of I will go to a thrift store and I'll find a jacket that looks like his.
That's exactly what I was trying to
his
do.
windbreaker that looks great. Then there are people that are like, no, it has this sort of pattern on the front. I'm gonna have to make sure I get that. I have to make sure I get the right badge. It's a lot of dedication to get it right. Richard O'Brien, who played Riff Raff in the movie, was also the author of the movie.
Yes.
And this is the notes he wrote for Science Fiction Double Feature.
Oh my God! Okay.
That's
so cool.
Original draft of it, and then on the back he has like just some notes he was writing for when he was putting together "I Can Make You a Man." Like, what rhymes with these muscle groups? So
that's so cool. Oh my God, that's like seeing the concept flesh out for that. Jeez.
Yeah,
that is awesome. So thank you very much for taking the time with us, Larry. That was actually really cool. It's really good to see kind of places like that. Yeah, Nick again here with Shallow Graves, Wizard World Chicago 2017. This is Larry Viezel. Check him out on Facebook.
Just go to rockyhorror.com and find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TRHPS fan club.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Thank you.